Hey, what's going on, y'all? Back with another one, back with another one, back with another one. Yeah, get this adjusted level here. Back with another one. But I'm back at it with one time only. Um I'm looking at the pre-record I did on the premiere. Check that out. It talks about tonight's stream and last night with the advisor. It was a hell of a great show. Enjoy the hell out of it. Like I said on that stream, on this pre-record, I'll check out the replay of that. Yeah, because that's a good one. But like I said, I think the main reason, um, pre-record content ain't what it used to be. A lot of people don't have no subject matter. Just like I said, I mentioned in that pre-record I just did earlier. Mindless topics is a thing. We have mindless topics. You don't have much of a content base, so it's better to be subject matter. What you are doing right now, you gotta have good subjects. Thing about podcasting, what people don't tell you, you gotta have a good subject matter and verse what topics you're versed in and experiences that you've done. Even when I did the sports route and play ball and stuff, that's the only topic I'm versed in is sports. But current events I've seen in other areas what people do and communicate and things like that, jobs, those are topics that people can be versed in. I'm versed in politics so much, I read a lot about it and I've seen people vote and things like that, actually get things done, change legislation, and people was in that field and watch and observe and seeing what they've done. Changes in what you do and buy and sell. So mainly I stick to those topics because that's my bread and butter. Everything else, like, when you talk about relationships and things like that, I don't fuck with that. That's the mindless topics we don't should be talked about because most men don't really care. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it is what it is. But then that's just how it is, man. It is what it is. But one thing I can say about it, you deal with it in long term comings. But some things you just got to build for it in so many words. And that's how you got to be. But one thing I can say in so many words, you got to build that foundation of your topics. But sometimes you got to stick with it like all the time. But when you live stream about certain things or make a podcast out of it, it gets very difficult to see what you're going. Most people look at it very differently than we do. So when you're doing live streams and expect people to like you and things like that nature, and that's just the whole point. So when you're dealing with that, you understand what's about to take place. When you take place in content, you have to expound on more, right? And I say it like this: most people don't really want to talk about actual issues and solutions, how to adjust your problems. It could be anything, relationships, whatever, current events, politics. Get out of your situation. Relationships to me, when we talked about it on earlier YouTube, I would say it was a minimum. Not what it is now, because that's the propaganda piece they sell on TV as a distraction. I know y'all want to get into the real topics and things like that. A lot of people call them hot topics, but really they're not hot topics. They're bullshit topics. They're mindless. I've heard them shits decades ago. No one cares. They think that's a topic to talk about. That's how you get into podcasting. That's not podcasting. That's just bullshit content. I see from mainstream podcasts, that's all they talk about, but they ain't talk about various things. No one cares, bro. That's why I hate uh, propaganda prophecy tropes. That's why I call it PPTs. I hate trends and tropes, and it has propaganda in them. That's why I'm so anti of the narrative of the modern day YouTube. Not just these spaces, how pathetic they are, but modern day YouTube. Modern day YouTube is what it is, man. It's a failure of destruction. I preach this a lot on my channel, especially when I do vlog streams. What I'm starting to see, I'm sick and tired of it. It's so much bullshit I see on YouTube. Even though I watch different things, I watch the gaming stuff, the sports, the current events. Yes, I'm on the news watching that shit over there in Ukraine. But those Ukrainians, they fighting like they brave, man. That's what it is. But most people are going to look at that. Now, if you want to address me on it, I have open discussions Thursday and we'll talk in the chat. But if you want the link, you got to ask for it. And that's it. I'm not posting multiple links to everybody comes up. And that's it. I'm not doing no marathons this year. I did that last year. I proved I can do that. Now it's like doing it by myself. Because most people ain't got nothing to say. See, I'll talk to y'all in the chat room. I can do that shit. That ain't nothing and cut it to 3 hours. Y'all don't impress me. I get this shit done and I'm out of here. Y'all don't impress me. Y'all don't impress me that much to stop what's going on. But like I said, you cannot expect me to change things long term. So you cannot do that. So basically, you have to look at it for what it is. So many times people think we're going to start talking like this long term. But then you got to look at it like this. Most people do not care what we think anyway. We just state our little viewpoints and just keep it going. But one thing I can say about these mindless topics I see on YouTube, I'm gonna say this in general. It's a trend. Anytime I see a live feed on my cell phone, like I can look right now and tell y'all and see, even though I'm in a live stream right now, someone's on some bullshit, talking about the same old bullshit as always. And it's these tropes I cannot stand in these smaller spaces and actually bigger spaces too. But the ones that do real content, I respect it. They go after one person, that's cool. See, I respect that. But when you got mindless fucking topics, you already know you ain't shit. And you want to do marathon streams after that. Fuck out of here. Everybody's talking about the war over there, and then us over here, we just talking about mindless shit. I mean, the sports is cool. You got sports streams in here, but you got mindless topics in between. Overlap that. So again, sports is being had on those streams. Everybody else is talking about bullshit. That's why a lot of people love gossip and all that stuff. Gossip sells. Bullshit sells, man. That's why I try to tell Epsilon Pianki TV this past Sunday. Bullshit sells. It's big business, especially on YouTube, and you cannot stop selling bullshit. The more bullshit you sell, the more shit that pushes you in the algorithm lane. So, like I said, this sells, whether you like it or not. It's one of the biggest reasons why it sells like the way it does, but it does not stop the fact that it's going to continue long term. So it's going to continue long term. You got to expect me to understand what's going on. So, like I said, you got to look at it from a integral perspective. An integral perspective of looking at it is how you look at it. Why society is the way they are, especially on YouTube. This is a fifth dimension society, right? But outside off this, same concept. The problem is you got people think they're big and bad, and they think they're tough. They really not. It just goes to show you that people don't talk about that type of content that people talk about. It is what it is. People are not going to stay in one spot and expect to stay long term. It is what it is. People say, why they didn't get the numbers they do? They just like fuckery and bullshit. That's all. And that's losing views. But if you're talking about something that's going to put names in the seats, the falls will come. And like I said, some people are revisionist history people, revisionist history. Some people don't like that. And it's pros and cons to that, but I ain't gonna get into that. But then you got people with the nostalgia, that's understandable. But then you got people that don't understand what it was back then. I'm tired of preaching that, and I'm saying it here this for now on. When I do my vlog streams, I'm going to look at it from that perspective. You cannot and will not expect me not to like you long term. Because one thing I notice, people think we care. We really don't care on this side of the realm of the sphere. It's not a manosphere channel. This will never be a manosphere channel because I got 17% women follow me. I talk about various things and various topics. It's just, I talk about political stuff and current events. Mention women, men and women all the time. I'm very, very balanced. I'm not attacking women. People like the channel. Boom. If they don't, they dip. It's part of the culture. So what you got is, you got dudes and whoever, and niggas, of course, do not like you based off what you're talking about, actual content. So, like I said, and I'll say it again, no one really cares long term. And it's just what it is. So basically, I'm setting my ways of doing content. A lot of times people expect me to do different things. But you got to understand, most people don't do what I do as a content creator because I talk about various things for hours. I could go for 3 hours talking to y'all, 4 hours. I'm not doing 6 hours. That's impossible because that's something I don't normally do. I can talk to the other 4 hours by myself. But if they want that discussion, I'll give them that time and I'll cut it. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? But it could be 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours talking to y'all, or 3 hours. It's possible. But like I said, I normally don't do these a lot. See, our discussions is cool. That's easy. Anybody can do hours. Anybody can do that. By myself. I'm talking about 2 hours. I can do that. I say 3 hours by myself. That's impressive. And it gets views. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about not having this platform. But when I have my own platform, my own channel, yes, I'm going to do it. But people don't understand I pre-record too. Most of you dudes that live stream like hours and doing marathon streams don't know how to pre-record. There's plenty of ways to pre-record. Copy and paste and move. Check and mate. Check. Check. Cheer. Do you understand me? Great Skull. Check. Did that rhyme? You know what I'm saying? People think they gonna try to piss me off long term. They can't do that, man. They can't do that. I do this. I do this. I do this. I do this. You know what I'm saying? But most people don't get it. And that's the thing that's missing when you pre-record on subject matters and stay away from mindless topics. You get what you're talking about. And that's long term. You know what I'm saying? So basically, what you got here is people are going to do what the things they're going to do. They're not going to change who they are. And I realized this too. When I started back doing my content, I feel like this need to be said. Most people going to be who they are, regardless of what we think about them. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So you can't get mad when they talk about frivolous stuff and it's really mindless topics, like I listed last Sunday, and then they love their echo chamber. But see, I don't have a subscribers only or members only chat. There's a reason why I don't do that, because that defeats the purpose of getting new subscribers, meeting new people, talking to them as content creators, helping them out with their content, share the shit, support their interests, and you trade information. That's part of networking as well. In case y'all fools don't even know that, in case y'all do know that, right? You do know that that's part of networking, right? But let's carry on. And like I said, we're gonna continue to do me over here, and the rest of the villains are gonna do the same, and we're gonna keep it pushing forward. So with that, I want to leave y'all with this. I'll be back 7:50 This again, yes, I dropped the recording at 10:30. I may drop this one later. So with that, I want to say peace and shalom once again. Oh, hell, great skull, and I'm out. Peace.